Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this week's Facebook Live, where we're talking about this concept of confidence and identity, and really about this, kind of assumption that either I'm confident or I'm not confident. And I think, Fee, this was one that was really interesting when we had kind of this insight that people either thought they had confidence or they didn't, and actually there wasn't really an opportunity. I can't grow or develop confidence. I can't get in better connection with my confidence. Actually, it seemed to be this kind of fixed trait and really linked in to identity. And of course, this piece of, well, if I'm not confident, perhaps there being some shame around that.
Yes, I think, this idea that the label of, shy or not confident or lacking confidence or all that sort of thing can carry a pretty heavy weight. And if it's some feedback you get, or, maybe there's a tool, I think of Myers-Briggs, I'm an INFP, used to be an ENFP. So extrovert to introvert. So there's this thing where when you're told stuff, or you start to get reinforcing behaviors and beliefs that this is how the world is and I can't change it, it really means we feel as though confidence is out of reach. If it's something I haven't got, it's too hard to get, or it's something that's not available to me. And I think it's so important to start to unpack that and think about that. What we know about, Carol Dweck's great work around mindset is, it's actually much more about the beliefs and behaviors that we're choosing. And we've all got the opportunity to move from a fixed to a growth mindset, which means, wow, we can actually shift this thing that we might have told ourselves for a long time about our relationship with confidence, or whether or not we're confident.
Yeah, and I think the beautiful part, we talk about the act of confidence comes before the feeling of confidence. There'll be dynamics where, even I still walk in and I'm like, oh, my confidence feels shaky, right? It's not this fixed thing that either is or isn't, and is present or not present 100% of the time. There's dynamics, and often it's a function of humans, the rooms you're walking into, the people you're interacting with. There's dynamics you'll walk into where perhaps you might feel a little bit shaky or not as confident as perhaps as you might if you were to walk into another room. And that's one of the things that, when we do the confidence workshops, people often talk about, right? This piece around, if I had to talk to my team or present to my team about a subject, I'd be fine, totally confident. But if I had to walk in and present to the board and the ELT about this, my confidence would go from here to here. So I think it is absolutely fluid and flexible. I think that's the beautiful piece that means, it's our opportunity to continually to strengthen our relationship with confidence, so that I'm able to firstly recognize what's going on for me. If there are dynamics where my confidence feels a little bit shaky or rocky, it's okay, I'm aware of that. And once I'm aware of that, I have the opportunity to do something about it.
Yes, yeah, I love this piece that, we tend to be down a rabbit hole one way or the other. We tend to think of it, and as you're explaining, confidence is very often a continuum. It's not something fixed. It's something that, definitely we have, we don't have. And what we've noticed over time is the more that we're prepared to step in, the more we're prepared to take those small acts of confidence, it actually fuels us. It's like, a muscle that's strengthened over time, and it doesn't feel so onerous and difficult. And certainly just being in the work as I have with you, or we have together for the last few years, I just know how different my relationship with confidence is. I know what, I can step in, I can step onto stage, I can do a whole lot of things that actually didn't feel comfortable to me even 3 or 4 years ago. So I think what's lovely about this is there's such a big opportunity and such a way in which you can actually do something about this, rather than feel, oh, I've got no power here, I can't do anything.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think, we often get the questions around, what if I'm introverted? What if I'm shy? And I think that's another label. That's another identity piece. And, I think the definition of shy is nervous and timid in the environment with other people, right? In connection or communication with other people. That is very different to introversion, which is about perhaps someone who stands back, is a considered thinker, gets their energy from alone time, and it perhaps might be a deep thinker. So I think some of these labels we need to be really careful with. I think Both. We see often a lot of miscommunication, misunderstanding around labels of introversion and shy. And I think we need to be really careful here, because often it's our ticket out, right? It's a very good excuse for not leaning in and asking the question, or putting my hand up to lead the team's new project. I think it's almost like our escape clause. And so I think we need to be really careful if you do label yourself as shy and introverted. And hands up, right? Certainly I've gone from being quite extroverted over my career to what I'd say is quite introverted. When I say that, it's not that I don't love to walk into rooms, have conversations with people. I'm not shy or timid. And I know that when I've spent a lot of time with people, I really need to spend some time on my own to feel my energy back up. So I think it's putting a spotlight and really shining a mirror on perhaps some of the behaviors or the lack of behaviors that we're not doing because of this label around being shy or being an introvert. And being really honest with ourselves, because most of the time, I'm not speaking up, or I'm nervous because I'm worried about fitting in. I'm worried about, not belonging. I'm worried about saying something and being embarrassed or humiliated. And so, the label of shy sometimes is just good protection mechanism against all of those kind of fears.
Yes, and I think, the opportunity here is, there might have been good reasons why that worked for you in the past. It might have been, there were situations where it did feel quite threatening or quite difficult, or you didn't have so much agency as you do as you progress your career. So I think it's just really good to re-examine, what are those stories you're telling yourself? What are the things that you've kind of set a default, like can't be changed? And, maybe get a bit curious, start to go, well, what if I could be more confident than I'm telling myself? What would that look like? And, one of the things that we always find in the work we do is that when we take people through a guided process to reconnect with confidence, is every single person can remember a time where they had 100% unshakable, unbreakable confidence. We've never come across someone who can't relate to a time when they personally had that within them. So there's we know that exists. So it's really this thing about, how do I get reconnected with? How do I actually find that resource that exists within me? And how do I stay in good contact with it?
Yeah, absolutely. We know that everyone has confidence within us. Most of the time, we've got strategies where we give our confidence away. So we might leave it there. If any of this resonated with you, please share below, tag us, add comments. We'd love to come back, circle, and answer your questions. One of the things we'd love to do over the course of the day. So please put some comments or notes there. If you know someone who could benefit from this or any of our other confidence conversations, please share it with them or tag them in the comment below. And look, if you're feeling stuck, unsure, or perhaps just want to go a little bit deeper with your relationship with confidence, please drop us a note and we can arrange a time to jump on a call, brainstorm some options and come up with a plan for you to activate your confidence. Take care and we'll see you next week.